All right, we got our recording started and we are ready to rock. So first things first, let's see, where do I even start? Oh my gosh, we're having an awesome month in sales again. We're right at around 11,000 in team sales. So congrats to you guys. There was a ton of you guys that were green by the 15th. So I'm going to be trying to get all the mail out tomorrow. Thank you guys for being patient with my dad having his stroke issues he's been having. So I really appreciate you guys for patience.
How is your dad, Becky?
He's okay. I guess it was just another minute. And he goes to the
It counts.
1 second, guys. Does anybody want an 8-year-old little boy?
I'll take him.
Okay, so yeah, he's all right. He's day by day. That's why we have to figure out exactly what's causing it. So definitely appreciate all the prayers. Definitely. So we had a lot of you guys that did the challenge that I issued the last time we did our Tuesday training. We actually had, we had Ashley. So here's a ticket for Ashley. We had Heather. So there's Heather's ticket. We had Miss Brittany that completed it last minute today. Woohoo! But she got it done. It's all good. We have Joanne that got her training done. We have Miss Angela that got hers done. And we had Jody that got it done. So I have everybody in my little black box here. And we're going to shake it up. And we are going to be pulling a winner. I told you guys that it was going to be a tool that was valued over $50 that I was going to be shipping out to you guys for free. One that can definitely help to grow your business, especially once you get it in your hands. So they don't yell at me. All right. Yep, make you the bad guy. That's right. Who we got? Brittany is the winner.
Yay!
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Woo! All right. So she is getting her very own spiralizer. How about that?
It's a great thing.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Ryan got a hit.
You're getting a spiralizer.
Yay!
Yay!
Congratulations, Brittany.
Thank you.
So would you guys all agree that that business could help you get bookings? Absolutely. $62 value, and it's yours. So I can either mail it or we can meet up and I can give it to you for each. Let me know what.
Are you going to be, I have school tomorrow and I'm coming through Shippensburg around 10. Are you going to be home?
Yeah, I'll be home.
Okay, I'll text you.
Okay. All right, so let's get into our training tonight. So I was really proud of you guys, though, for taking on that homework challenge. I think it's a good idea to always, touch business, and it just gave you guys another way to kind of touch business. So remember that you determine your contact. So the more that you're out and about, the more that you are, making eye contact with people and making connections with people, the more successful your business is going to be. So if you want or you need more bookings, then don't stop calling or asking until you reach the goal. Right? It's always important to start out first thing with a goal. You have to have a goal. If you don't have a goal, you have nothing or no idea what you're reaching for. So whether your personal goal is to do 2 shows a month or whether your personal goal is to do 14 shows a month, you have to know what you're reaching for. So what were your kind of highlights and takeaways from that booking recording from PC University? You guys all had some pretty good takeaways that you sent to me, and I would like for you guys to share. If each of you guys could share like your top, maybe your top thing that you took away from that. Everybody's shy tonight? No way. That never happens. Joanne, how about you? Can you kick us off?
Well, I was just trying to remember what that was 2 weeks ago.
I
And
know.
I don't remember what I sent to you anymore, honestly. That's why I didn't respond. I was trying to.
What was the question?
Well, Joanne, what do you think about bookings? Like, what do you think the top thing you consistently do
Can you repeat that question again? You're going in and out.
what do you think the top thing that you do in your business personally to get bookings?
Well, whenever I'm at a show, I always date at least 2 or more shows because I need one to replace the show that I'm doing and I need another one to grow. But additionally, I mean, well, the other night I was out trolling. I haven't been out trolling for a while.
Love it.
So I went out trolling to Walmart. My daughter was with me. And actually, she was like, Mom, what are you doing? I said, I'm going out trolling. Of course, she had to laugh about that. And I said, now watch how this works. So I put my thing on and out I went. And so I stopped over at the return section first because I had something to return. I'd gotten a new quilting iron and it got some sort of unusual spots on the metal part of the iron. So first I talked to that girl and she wouldn't give me her phone number. She gladly took a book, but she said she doesn't like to use the phone, but she'll be glad to give me her email. I said, okay, well, you go ahead and review the book and I will follow up with you in about 3 days because I'm going to be going to a place where there's no phone or computer reception for the weekend. And so she was like, okay. So she gave me her email address. Well, that turned out to be a dud. I don't know if she wrote it down incorrectly or if she purposely wrote something that wasn't correct, but I could not email her when I tried to follow up. But the cashier was ring number 2. So I went through the line after I got a couple other things in the store and talked to the girl. Her name's Renata Dietrich. And I called her when I came back into the area of reception and I dated a show with her. Now she won't have a talk to her. Yeah, but hey, that trolling worked. Everywhere I go, I put my pin on and I take my catalogs in my pocketbook and I hand them out. I don't leave my house without catalogs in my pocketbook. That's what I do.
Right. You have to be business ready. When you treat Pampered Chef like a business and not just a hobby, you're going to get business results. So congratulations, Joanne. Way to go. All right, Ashley. Ashley, what do you think your top takeaway was from the bookings training or anything that you're doing lately to grab up some bookings?
I don't know. I was gonna say not pay my bills and let the debt collectors call me.
You guys, she had the funniest story yesterday. Share your story with these guys. Oh my gosh, she had me rolling.
I had a debt collector call me yesterday for a hospital bill, and she said, well, you need $60, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, I don't have anything right now. Well, what's your excuse? My excuse is I just started Pampered Chef, and I'm waiting on my checks because I only received the first one. And she goes, oh, really? I love Pampered Chef. I said, oh, yeah, I can help you get some free products. And I told her that June was double rewards after your party is $650. She goes, well, I want to book a show in June. I said, okay. I said, well, what's your name? And I wrote down her name. And she said, look me up on Facebook. And I added her as a friend, and I got all her information. Her party is June 1st.
I love it. Is that not the funniest story, guys? Oh, my gosh.
And she forgot about my bill.
Yeah, she forgot about the bill. I love that even more. That's funny.
You know what? I think Ashley forgot to turn her video on. We can't see her.
That's because I'm cooking in my house.
Yeah, she's busy.
Oh, okay.
No, all I can say is kudos to you, though, Ashley, for thinking outside the box and being ready to, like, respond to that bill collector. I mean, that just cracks me up. I mean, it just goes to show, I mean, when you tell people Pampered Chef, I mean, they're ready. They're like, oh, my God, I love Pampered Chef. You hear it all the time. So, all right, Heather and Chris, what were your takeaways? Or what's something you've done to get bookings? Look, he's pointing the finger to Heather. Look, she's like, I got to go back to work.
I don't know.
You don't know? That's okay. We'll think about it. We'll wait till she comes back in, and then we'll bombard her. How about that?
Yeah.
Hey, Brittany. Brittany did the training today, so it should be fresh in her mind. It looks like she's watching her little one. She's got a baby.
She didn't take away, so.
That's okay. Well, I think you guys all sent me some really good takeaways from it, so that's pretty awesome. So we're going to start talking about some new content tonight. So did you guys know that there's a recruit at every party, but is there a recruiter? Okay. And that just means simply that, you know, if you look at your crowd of people that are at your parties, you may only have 4 people, you may have 10 people, you may have 20 people. Out of those people, somebody needs Pampered Chef in their life. Somebody needs extra money, okay? So once again, having scheduled parties is the beginning of our success and should be where our business, our best energy goes to. Because you can't find recruits if you're not in front of enough people, if that makes sense to you guys. You know, the odds of you meeting someone out and about, or the odds of somebody picking up the phone and saying, hey, join your team, are pretty slim to none. Unless they're really going to see what your job looks like, okay? So, do you believe the statement that or do you guys believe that there's a recruit at every show? What do you guys think? I think when you start doing enough shows, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. And how do we identify those potential new team members? Well, there's a lot of red flags that you have to watch for when you're at your shows or out and about or you're talking to people, but particularly at shows because, again, you're in front of the most people at that time. So look for those people and pay attention to the people that are the first ones to arrive. So the first ones at the show, the last ones to arrive, the last person to leave. Who had the largest order? Who had the smallest order? Do they like to cook? Is there anyone in that group that just stands out that like loves our products, that just is raving over the products and like literally selling them to other people at the show? Somebody that may ask, are your bags heavy? Somebody that may say, oh man, I'd hate to have to do all those dishes. Or someone that even asks you, do you like to cook? Those people need to kind of stand out from the crowd a little bit because what they're really asking or saying to you is indirect that, you know, when they're asking you that, you know, are your bags heavy, they're really seeing if they could picture themselves carrying those bags, okay? If they're like, oh my gosh, I would hate to do all those dishes, well, they're kind of picturing how would I go about, you know, not having to do so many dishes if I did this. So we need to go to parties knowing that the sales will happen despite of us. But bookings and team members happen if people like us, if they are asked, and if we make our job look easy. Okay? So those are the keys. Okay? So they have to like you, first of all. Second of all, they have to be asked. And third, we have to show them how easy this job truly is. So how can we make people like us? Smiling, okay? Smiling, and the best thing about smiling is you burn calories. Love it. But you burn calories and it's almost always returned. How often do you smile at someone and they don't smile back at you? Not very often. Most of the time they return a smile. Being warm and sincere, shaking their hands, connecting with small talk that's not about Pampered Chef. Find out who they are as a person. Are you curious about people? Be a connector. Are you a connector? For some, it's natural. And for those who don't know how to do that naturally, you can learn how to be a connector. I have learned how to be a connector and I just can't turn it off. Like, I'm one of those people when I'm at a party, I may seem a little bit probably annoying to some people, but I'm like in your face, like I want to know who you are. Like I want to connect on a personal level, not just about paper chef. You know, everybody comes there. You know, some come from work. Maybe they've had a bad day. Maybe they just need somebody to crack a joke and make them smile. You know, normally that's me. I always joke at my parties and tell them it's comedy hour when they come to my parties because I just like to have fun. You know, I have 4 kids, and I started this job, you know, to be a fun job, and I continue to just make it my fun job. It is a fun job. So what other ideas would you guys have for small talk? What are some of the other things that you can do to make small talk with people?
Well, sometimes I talk about the weather, or I find something that I have in common with the other people who are there, like a particular hobby or anything that's a commonality.
Right, absolutely. And Lord knows with as much rain as we've had, rain is something we can definitely talk about. I was so happy to look outside and see the sunshine today. Oh my gosh. It totally, like, it just lifts your mood when you see the sunshine, you know? So what else? What else do you guys think? What else are other ways that you can make small talk with people? So how about that girl that walks in with those amazing pair of like shoes, or the girl that walks in with a really, really pretty necklace, or the guy that walks in with his wife? Hello. He stands out in a crowd, doesn't he? So, you know, there's different ways to approach people in making small talk, and we just have to kind of find out what that commonality is, and see how you can approach it so that it's not, oh, hi, Susie, how are you today? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here at this Pampered Chef party. You know, what's your favorite Pampered Chef product? When it becomes all about Pampered Chef, we immediately get turned off by it, okay? But when you start trying to dig into who they are as a person, then they start to relate to you. So I think, you know, at parties, these are my probably top 3 takeaways when we're trying to get people to like us, or kind of just, you know, trying to connect on a personal level. Slow down. Okay, slow down at your parties so we can see who these people are. Do not be a clock watcher and rush people, okay, or you will miss out. Be realistic about how long parties take. You know, the average Pampered Chef party is about 2.5 hours. Is your party not lasting at least 2 hours? Are you, you know, in and out in an hour and a half? Are you in and out in an hour? Think about what you might be potentially missing out on. So the average show needs to be about 2 to 2.5 hours. So maybe we need to take a look at tweaking your show, and making sure that you're doing an opening, and that you're doing a great demo recipes, that you're doing some kind of game that, you know, talks about recruiting. Maybe we just need to look at your show overall to see what we can add or what we can take away if it's too long on the other extreme. The average person, you lose like demo time, you lose their attention after about 40 minutes, okay? After 40 minutes, if the demo runs longer than that, their attention's gone, okay? And you try to, you see yourself trying to reel people back in, but it makes it a little bit hard. So if you're struggling, if you feel like your show's too short, or if you feel like your show is too long, then let's do a one-on-one and talk about that. When people, this is my last takeaway about that. When people approach you with their order, don't look at the receipt. I know that sounds weird, but don't look at the receipt, look at them. Okay? You want to look at them and reconnect. You already connected when you kind of, you know, when they came in and you were starting to, you know, before the show, I can't even talk. Before the show started, you connected with them on a personal kind of basis, okay? And that starts to build trust with them. So when they come to you later to check out, you want to kind of reaffirm that they can trust you, that you're a trusted person, because you remember what you talked to them about, you know? So you connected with Joanne about, oh my gosh, Joanne, I really like your glasses. Where did you get those? You know, earlier in the day, you know, when the party first started, and now it's Joanne, I am so glad you came. You know, did you have a good time tonight? Without even looking at the receipt. Because I think immediately what happens is, if you look at the receipt as soon as they hand it to you, and you look at the product and you're like, oh my gosh, they only spent $15, you're immediately turned off by that person. So if we reconnected with them on the personal matter, you know, and then you look at the receipt and then you're totaling it out, you can kind of see, number one, if they told you had a great time and their order was small, they might be the perfect person to book a party. Maybe they really can't afford to spend more money than that. You've connected with them on a personal level, and now they like you and they trust you, okay? So these are the perfect people that are going to want to book a show from you because they have to like you. If they don't like you, they won't let you in their house. I mean, do you guys understand that? Do you agree? If I don't like somebody, they're not coming to my house.
Right.
Okay, so number 2, how do we make our jobs look easy? Okay, when you pull in, are you showing up on time? You know, did you tell your host you were going to be there? Let's say the party's at 6 o'clock. Are you arriving like 10 minutes till 6? Are you arriving at 5:30? Are you arriving at 5 o'clock? Again, there's a right and a wrong way. There's a too early or a too late. And I tell you guys this because, again, you could be missing the boat with people. If you're arriving too early, what happens is it stresses the host out a little bit because she feels panicked that you're already there, okay? Maybe she hasn't taken care of her last minute things. Or if you arrive too late and the guests have already started to arrive, you're now, number one, you're missing out on time that you need to prep to make your demo go a little bit faster. Number 2, you've missed out on all those potential conversations that you could have had with people to connect. So are you missing the boat? I suggest arriving 30 minutes ahead of time. That normally gives me, I normally need about 10 to 15 minutes to set up and prep my ingredients. And again, as a part of host coaching, I make sure that my host knows to have those ingredients out and ready for me. That way when I come, I can get my prepping done. And I have time then that I can ask my host if she needs any more help. I can have a quick conversation with my host telling her how excited I am. And again, kind of, go through whether she thinks maybe, that we should turn this into a grand opening show. Kind of see where she's at with the recruiting piece of it, if she's thought about the business. And then as the guests arrive, I actually go and I help her greet those guests because it makes a big difference. It just lets you connect on a different level with them. All right, so what about first impressions? First impressions are huge. It's that first initial instinct that you think of someone. So let's say I'm meeting, somebody out for lunch, and I walk over to sit down at the table, and the first thing I notice is that their clothes are dirty or they have a smell, and I know this sounds kind of weird, but that leaves a first impression about somebody. Okay, and those are the things that you tend to remember that next time you meet that person, it's like, oh my gosh, that's the stinky person that I met for lunch that day. Those are the things that, stand out. So first impressions are huge. What are some of the things that they're going to remember you, especially your host, because they're going to, most of the time go out and help you take your bags out or come out and meet you at the door. So if your car's dirty, if you're not dressed professional, if you've got like holy pants on, if you are just not groomed, hygiene wise, all of those things leave a first impression. So make sure that, you are taking the time that you need to organize yourself, that you're arriving on time when you said you would be there, so you're not rushed and all those things. So I've been in the biz for 5 years. So clearly I've had a fight with my husband on the way to a party, or, was just a bad mom and yelled at my kids, or heard bad news, right before I left go, just didn't feel the best. But so must go on. Okay, so when I get to the front door of the party, everything else that's happened before that party stays there. It's all left behind. Because the show's not about me, it's about my host. It's me doing the best job that I can for my host. Remember, this is our job, okay? Some people may choose to look at Pampered Chef as a hobby. Some people may choose to look at Pampered Chef as a business. No matter which it is, it's still your job to make sure that you do the best job that you can. So how do we make our jobs look fun? Do you like what you're doing? Does your face show it? Remember how I told you guys earlier that normally if you smile when you look at somebody, most of the time they're going to smile back at you. So if you show up to a show and you're just totally ticked off at the world, you are definitely going to start dictating that show right there with your mood. Okay? People get a sense of, whether you're in a happy mood or you're in a not so happy mood. Remember, you're at a party. You're there to party. You're there to have fun. Everything that happened before you got there, just leave it at the door. What ways do we sabotage our own success and complicate our job? Well, I think some of the biggest ways that we complicate our job are by trying to do 15 recipes at a show. Or you're trying to, do like 3 different recipes that take like 45 minutes each. Or you're trying to talk about every single tool during your demo. When you're talking about products at during your demo, everybody doesn't need all of the specifics on, let's say, the measuring spoon set, okay, or the measure all cup, or the I don't know, those small tools that really they're gonna buy those tools regardless. The tools that you want to talk and spend the most time about are going to be those tools that, number one, are going to be the ones that get you bookings. They're going to be the ones that may be in the new consultant kit. So, if I'm talking about, let's say, the large pizza stone, I'm talking about that, I can be like, oh my gosh, and by the way, if this is on your wish list, then, you joined my team. This is part of that new consultant package. Again, it's all about planting seeds. We tend to sabotage ourselves in a lot of different ways with a lot of different jobs. And I think that's just, it doesn't speak only to Pampered Chef, but I think anything we do in life, a lot of times when you're trying to be successful, you stand in your own way of being successful. So sometimes you just got to kind of stand back and you got to kind of think about, okay, what am I doing that's good? What are the things that I'm doing that are not so good? All right. And number 3, like I said earlier, you have to ask. We must have a big ask. Okay. You like that? You thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? Remember, how many times do people have to be asked the same question before they say yes? Does anybody remember that from our last training? Nobody remembers. That's okay. We'll let you guys slide this time. So we can ask before, we can ask during, we can ask after the party and get some of those no's out of the way. The important thing is, number 1, that you're asking, and number 2, that when you're asking and they say no, always remember to say, is that no, not never, or no, just not right now, okay? Because it gives you the excuse to follow back up if it's just a no, not right now. So some of the before examples that I would use, like before the show starts, of how you ask, would be on the Facebook page. If you've created a Facebook event, share a video on the event page to plant the seed with guests as you introduce yourself. That's something I've started doing recently because I really like to try to connect with the people that are on the Facebook shows before the show even happens. So they kind of get an idea of who I am and, that I'm fun and really be able to relate to me. So I try to make just a short, 2-minute video introducing myself, telling them I can't wait to meet them at so-and-so's party, tell them my reason why I do Pampered Chef, that I'm a mom of 4, this lets me stay home, whatever your why is. But again, make it personal. The more you can make it personal, again, you're going to be better connected to those people because they're going to recognize, when they walk in, they're going to be like, oh my God, I remember seeing your video on Sally's Facebook event. I can't believe you have 4 kids, blah, blah, blah. I hear it all the time. Nobody ever really believes me that I have an almost 19-year-old. I don't understand it. Anyway. Okay, so ask your host during host coaching at least 3 to 5 times before the party. Okay? And again, it's all about planting seeds. So, I normally ask when their host packet arrives, and I have that first phone call with them. I let them, as I'm going through the host pack, and I'm like, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but did you see the, the flyer in there about joining my business? And then kind of have that conversation to kind of feel her out a little bit and see if it's something she's ever thought about or not. So let's see, where was I? So if you guys ever worked with a really easy host that just made your job like a complete cakewalk, just she did everything you asked her to do. She was amazing at getting all those orders, amazing at getting the party like ready to go and closed out on time. That same person, did you make sure to ask her to join your team? Because when a host is kind of like a job interview, I think, as us looking at the host. Okay, so if you observe your host and you observe her habits, is she that person that's always on the Facebook page, like coaching and trying to get those orders and, really encouraging people and tagging people? Is she that host that got the guest list right back to you to get those invitations mailed? Those are all, in my opinion, really good qualities of a consultant. So if she's an awesome host, most likely she would be an awesome consultant. So again, it's kind of when the red flag should, start going up with you, that you should start talking to her about it. Because I kind of look at it, like I said, I look at that hosting a show is like a job interview. Does that make sense? So how many times have you suggested to your host that they make that their grand opening party? And I know a lot of people, you'll hear different sides of this. Some people are like, well, I can't really afford to give my bookings away. And then you have some people that are like, yeah, I ask every host before the party because, if they decide to join my team ahead of time, then what I'll do is I'll let that be their grand opening show. I'll give them the sales and bookings, and that starts their business. You get to choose whichever way you do that. Some people do it that they make it the grand opening show, but they keep the sales for themselves, but they give the bookings to that host. It really all depends on how you want to do that part of your business. But the key is, to make sure that you're asking your host and having those conversations. Your hosts are your number one recruit lead. Okay, don't ever forget that. Okay, so let's see, So during the shows, what are some examples we would use? So we would tell, the people at the show, oh my God, you'd be so fun. It would be so fun to have you on my team. You'd be great at this. If something happens to me, Susie Q can take over. Like if I passed over dead, and Heather was the guest of my show, but she was totally rocking those tools, I could be like, oh my God, you don't even need me here. Heather's doing an amazing job. She should be your consultant right now. I always let them know I have a brochure for you to each take home that has my contact info included. So if you ever need me or you give a second thought to Pampered Chef, then, you'll have my information to contact me right away. And if, you go to hand those people those flyers and they're just like, no, I really am just not interested. I still say, well, you know what, go ahead and take it with you. Because, if you know somebody that can maybe use Pampered Chef or, you run across somebody that's looking for money, then you can always pass that off. And I give a prize out to somebody if they do a referral for me. So after the show ends, what would be some examples? So at full service checkout, I'd love to share more with you about joining my team. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? So again, when they come to sit down and you're getting ready to do the order, you redo the connection with them. So you don't look at the order, you're reconnecting with that person. You're asking them if if they had a great time at the show tonight, what was their favorite part? And then you just kind of slide in with that. Just like I said, I'd love to share more with you about joining my team. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? So another thing that I think people forget to do is after the show, or even with catalog shows or Facebook shows, make sure you call all of those people that didn't actually come to the party okay? And call and thank them. Call and thank them for placing an order on Susie's party, and offer a booking. Offer them to host their own show. They didn't get the chance to come and meet you, but if you call and thank them, again, you thank them first because that lets you kind of, you want to start out with like connecting with them, and then you're thanking them for their business. You're building trust as you're doing that. And then, maybe you can get a booking from it. It happened to me earlier today. I called somebody because they forgot to write down what freebie they wanted on the order. I called, she called me back because she wasn't home. I found out which items she wanted, and I said, so Betty, I said, have you thought about having your own paper check party? And she was like, oh, well, now that you mention it, I haven't had a party in like 5 years. There you go. Grabbed up a booking, just because I simply called and asked. So after the party, another thing that you can do is send a post-party email, okay? So has anybody ever sent an email to the guests after the show? And in my opinion, it's not too late. So let's say, you did even a virtual party. You did a catalog party. You did a cookie show party. No matter what kind of party it was, and it was a couple weeks ago, what you could do is send out an email to everybody that attended or everybody that placed the order, just to, again, thank them for placing that order. Maybe send them a recipe in the email, but make sure your contact information's on there so that they would have that for the future. All right, so what questions do you guys have on all that information I just threw at you? There's a lot of information all at one time. So again, the key takeaways are that, where am I at? My phone keeps skipping ahead. It's driving me crazy. How we can make people like us. How do we make our jobs look easy? And how do we ask? Okay. So those for me are they're like the three main reasons why somebody would want or consider to join your team. You have to do all three of those pieces. Like I said, I mean, and same thing applies for, booking a show. You have to ask them. Otherwise, they're not just going to magically hop on your calendar, which I would love that. That would be awesome if they did. Wouldn't it be great if you just opened your calendar up and your calendar was full with all these names and dates? But we all are realistic and we know that's not going to happen. So we have to just keep asking. You ask until your calendar's full. So, like I said earlier, it starts with a goal. So you have to first, know what your goal is, and then you don't stop until you reach your goal. You have to ask enough people. So if I want to book 5 parties, how many phone calls am I going to have to make to book 5 parties? Most likely, I'm going to have to make 50 phone calls in order to get my 5 dates most of the time, because 1 out of 10 people will book a party when you're on the phone. So that means that, my phone is literally connected to my head until I reach my goal. I think a lot of times people get frustrated and they just stop. When you start hearing no can be frustrating. And so it's just easier to say, I'll make phone calls tomorrow. But tomorrow really never comes, and then tomorrow you're back at square one, whereas you made 7 phone calls the night before. You made 3 more phone calls. You might have got a yes, but now you're back at 1, right? The next day. Now you're starting right back from square one. So, all right. So any questions on the training tonight? Any questions in general? Any questions on anything coming up? All right. So just a couple other things that I want you guys to make note of. Hopefully you guys seen last night that I posted the team meeting schedule. It's on our WOLFPAC team page for the rest of the year with dates and times. The meetings are going to be held at my house. I will have them live streamed from Zoom. I think the first one I'm going to try to do Facebook Live with and see how that goes. We'll see. I might do both just to make sure that I have one way of recording it. So those are posted for the rest of the year. Remember that we have the new salad in a jar set coming out June 1st, which is going to be a huge, huge deal. So you will be able to order it June 1st, but hopefully you do $7.50 in sales this month and can get your free set. And then you can kind of start promoting that. I did put a bunch of pictures in the WOLFPACK team page today for the salad in a jar, each with different prices and just some different graphics you can use. What else was there? If you haven't signed up for national conference and you still want to go, there's still room. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, I can't go because there's not room. That cat is too cute, Chris. Oh my gosh. The only difference is that it's now $50 more because the early bird sign up fee is now gone. But we do have room if anybody does want to go. Okay, so I think that's all I needed to cover. So you guys are gonna have another homework assignment because I'm gonna do another giveaway next Tuesday. Who likes free? Woo! We all like free stuff. Wait, now, do you think the $62 spiralizer was worth it to do a homework challenge? What do you guys think? Yeah, I mean, come on. Y'all need to help me empty out my garage. I got to get rid of this stuff. So your next homework assignment is to add 2 more parties to your calendar. Woo! So same thing applies. Add 2 new, Ashley said she'll take some stuff. Yeah, I'm sure you will. So add 2 new dates to your calendar. Send me the host name and send me the date of the show. And then you guys are going to do the courses on PC University for recruiting. Okay? And then same thing, I want you to send me your top 3 takeaways from those recruiting courses. Pretty simple? I think so. I mean, if I knew I was going to potentially get a $50 tool for my business, I'd be all over it. So, if you guys have any questions, if you need any help, if you guys want to schedule any one-on-one time, whether it's yourself or whether it's you and any of your consultants that are on your personal team, let me know. Joanne, how's Jamie doing? I haven't heard from her. Have you heard from her? You're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, sorry. I've spoken, well, for the first week after she moved, she told me she was going to be busy just getting acclimated to her job and get moved in. So I was good with that. The next week I wrote to her and said, hey, don't want to forget to tell you that we have training on Tuesday night and, just kind of touch base. And she didn't respond at all. The next week, I still hadn't heard back from her, so I wrote to her again, and she didn't respond to that, so then I texted her. And after about a day, she texted back to me and said that she hates her new job. The first priority is to find a new job. And she went on to say that she doesn't have internet access yet. Something happened. I don't know exactly what, and that's all I've heard from her. Now, tonight, I've already written to her. I've texted her. Since texting seemed to work better, I figured that will be my mode of communication. And so I haven't heard back from her tonight, but tonight I wrote to her, we're having training. Please get on your iPhone if you're able. She doesn't have a computer. She has her iPhone. So
right.
Do the same thing, just a different way. So I, put that out there, but I haven't heard.
Okay. But we'll just, pray that, if there's something going on, that it resolves itself and that, she's able to
Yep.
find a new job, because I know that's got to be stressful with just moving. That's got to be stressful. So, Amy, if you watch this, we're here to support you. So if you want to do a training meeting with me and Joanne, my schedule's open, and even if it's just a tough, we're here for you.
Yeah, I'm here for her. I'm ready as soon as
Absolutely.
she's ready to get going.
Absolutely.
I'm here to support her, do whatever I can.
Yep. Ashley, did you have anything? Any questions?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. How did your recruit lead go? The one girl.
Her party starts June 1st.
Is she signing up still?
She says she is.
After the party, maybe, or before?
Oh, she said after her party, so when she can use some of her free products.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Grow this WOLFPACK, girls.
And I might get Holly signed up because her and her husband might be getting a divorce, so she needs to get a job.
Oh, wow. Wow,
So
wow,
I
wow.
told her, I said, I know where a job that you can work, and she started smiling. So we'll see.
Well, if you need to hop on Zoom with me and her and, you know, us talk, let me know. We can schedule something.
Okay.
Miss Heather, I know you're having so much fun at work right now. You just can't stand it.
I love my job.
I know.
You say hi.
Did you have any questions or concerns or anything?
Yeah, I think we're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
How's your schedule looking?
I have Rachel's party going on right now, and Heather's is on the 28th. For June, I have an engagement party, bridal shower, however you want to put it, going on at the end of the month. And then for July, I currently have 2 that I'm just waiting on. So we're doing pretty good.
Yay! Exciting. I'm excited for you guys.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we finished up early, so if nobody else has any other questions.
When are we getting together to learn how to do the freezer meal workshop?
I am looking into that. I seen your message earlier. I'm going to try to do it on a Saturday if that will work.
This Saturday?
No, not this Saturday.
What Saturday? Tell me now. My calendar is very full.
Okay.
I'm going to be doing a couple things this summer. They needed a registered nurse for some kids for foster care. And so I'm going to go be a camp nurse. It's free of charge, but it's for a good cause.
That's awesome.
And I'm going to be in Indiana for a week. So I just need to know now when we're going to do this because I need you on my calendar.
Woo!
That girl Renata that I did the show with, she wants a freezer meal workshop.
Okay. What date is her party?
Well, she's the one that's not going to be till later, but I have other people that are interested. And I told them until I receive the training, I don't want to, definitely say that we're going to do that yet. So the sooner the better, because I have more people to date.
Okay. Let me look at my calendar because I know that this Saturday is not an option because I'm going to see my father this weekend.
Yep. And Saturday is not an option, or the following Saturday.
Yeah, I don't even know if I have any Saturdays free, but let me
How about Friday night, June 9th?
Hold on. Let me look. Hold on.
Okay.
Because I have, I think, 14 shows scheduled in June right now, on top of being in the Bahamas for a week.
Or I could even do Thursday the 8th, or Thursday the 9th would be even better.
I know I have a party on the 9th.
Okay. Let's make a date. Hey, I saw Claudia put a thing out there. Did you see that on Facebook? She put an event out that you can make any of the different workshop meals that are available. And it has like a link to her website that you can go on and you just prepay there. But I'm not sure how you select it, how she knows which one you're going to do.
I'll have to check it out. She probably used the one other website thing.
I want to learn how she did that.
Okay, so the soonest I could do it would be June 3rd.
June 3rd. Nope, I have to be a nurse that day. I have to be an RN that day. But what's on the following week? What do you have open then?
I have a show the 4th, I have a show the 5th, I have a show the 8th, I have a show the 9th, I have a show the 10th, I have a show the 11th, I have a show the 12th.
How about the 7th?
The 7th, we typically do our weekly training, but if you guys want to give up the weekly Zoom training for that we can.
I would love to. I'll come down to your place, or you can have everybody come up here. I don't care.
Okay. Let me put it out there on the team page, and we'll see. Go ahead and pencil that date in then.
Okay.
June 7th.
Yep.
Heather, do you work June 7th?
I have time to request off.
Okay.
So we're good.
All right. So pencil in June 7th. I'll touch base. I'll post it on the team page, and whoever comes. Whoever doesn't. We'll just make some freezer meals.
Well, we can always record it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
so we'll figure out logistics. We'll figure out the logistics as soon as I know how many people that we're going to have that want to come to it.
Yeah.
And then, because I'm not going to order the kits for you guys. I'm going to let you order your own kits so that you get the money back off of that, because it wouldn't make any sense.
I already have all of that stuff.
Okay.
So I won't need to order anything, but I just need to know like what things in our inventory you want me to bring that we would normally provide for each guest. Like
You have everything here, so you won't have to bring anything but yourself.
Okay.
And if you're going to actually make the freezer meals, then you would have to bring your groceries.
Yep. I'll bring groceries and seasonings in.
Yeah. Well, we'll decide. We'll all do the same. I like to always do the same menu.
Yep. I think that's better too.
Yeah. So we'll decide on the menu, and then I'll send you guys the grocery list.
Okay.
Okay?
Good. Yep.
June 7th. Sounds like a date.
Yep. Okay. Let's
All
learn
right, guys. Well, if you need anything else, let me know. If you guys are prayerful, please just make sure to keep my family in your prayers for my dad. Like I said, hopefully we'll have a better idea next week when we can get him in with the neurologist of what's going on. So if you're a prayerful person, please put me on your prayers. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys again for joining me tonight. And we have 6 days left of the month, so let's go kick some butt.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye.